Hey guys, Melee here. This is going to be me going over my UI a little bit. Nothing crazy in detail. I just want to show you how I set it up and how to use it. So first things first, as far as my bars go, I use an add-on called Dominos. If you don't like LVUI, if you don't like the WeakAuras type UIs, this is something that you might want to consider. I used LVUI very long time ago. Never grew on me, I never liked it, and I always just kind of used Blizzard's UI for the most part. Dominos, if you go ahead and install it, you click on it. If you left click it, all your bars are going to show up just like this. Now these you can just move around however you want, and if you right click on them, you have all these options here. So for this one, you can change the columns to go straight up and down. You can build squares like you see I have some of these. And you can change the spacing of the bars. You can change the size as far as that goes. Down here, you'll see my cooldown buttons are smaller than my rotational buttons. You can change the scale of the action bar to make the bars bigger, to make the icons bigger, to make them smaller, and customize it to your liking that way. Now, you'll see here, the way I have this set up is nice and clean. This is how I prefer it and how I like it. But all of my keybinds are down here. These are all the bars where if you go into the settings, if you click fading, the opacity here, I had it set to 0 so that all my actual bars with all my keybinds were hidden. That's just for a clean look. Obviously, you don't have to do that, but I'm explaining it so that you guys can see exactly how I do it. These are where I have everything placed, all my macros, all my abilities, my kick, my trinket, everything that I have keybound for the most part, aside from like potions and stuff, are right here. I have all my keybounds memorized. So that's why once I eventually memorized my keybinds and I started to play and I set my UI up a little cleaner, I did not want these to show anything, so these are just duplicated bars, right? All these abilities are down here and they're keybound. You don't have to do it that way, and I'll explain in a sec. So I went ahead, I went into fading, I hit all my bars just to clean up how my UI looks. Less clutter, more of a clean, refined look. That being said, if you do not have your keybounds memorized and you need them on your bars, nothing wrong with that. It is very easy to do with Dominos. If you hover over the add-on here, it says shift left click to enter binding mode. So we're going to do that real quick. We're in binding mode. All the bars showed up here. You can see if you hover over them, no current bindings. Some of these have current bindings. I'm just going to unbind and rebind a key on here that I already have done. So this is my potion. I have it set to control 6 to pop my potion manually. I'm just going to hit escape while I'm cursored over the action button. So now the binding is gone. The only thing you have to do to rebind it is be in binding mode still, cursor over it, hit control 6 to bind it. It just binds it just like that. Same thing with this. I'll hit escape, clear that binding. It was control left click. I'm going to set it right back to it. So if you want, it is very easy to just put everything where you want it, go into binding mode, cursor over the ability you want keybound, and then just press whatever bind you want to set it to. It's very easy to use, and then you just hit OK, and the bindings all stay in there. They're all in your settings. So you don't have to worry about doing any of this stuff down here. I just have that done for me so that it gives it a cleaner look. But if you still are looking at your keybinds, you get to skip a step. Just set everything up on your screen however you want it, bind it all individually, and customize it to your liking. That being said, that's really all there is to my UI. I don't really have any other settings in here that I've changed. You can look in there and customize it. This was kind of just a video to explain how I got my UI done. So I don't utilize a whole lot of it. I just move stuff around, keybind it, hide some bars. It's very easy. And then outside of that, I have these WeakAuras just placed wherever I want them. This right here, it's a WeakAura for execution sentence. Not something that you really need, but for me, like if I press the button, it just helps me keep track of, you know, how long my hammer is actually falling and how long I have of a damage window before it does fall, which the normal button doesn't do for you. So something to consider, something just easily customizable. And you can get the WeakAuras that I use right here in my WeakAura pack. It's that you could get them all on Wago. I just kind of packed everything up so people want to use some of the stuff that I use. So it is out there, and then you can just move it around to your liking. If you want my frames, I use Grid2. It is not something that I recommend to everybody. I know a lot of people see it. It's not the easiest to use. It does take a little bit more setting up. So these are just the test bars. This isn't what it looks like when I'm in a party. My actual frames are really like down here. And then I use Omni CD to track everybody's abilities. So the reason I use this is just because I like how it looks. I've been using it for a very long time. And I will explain why it is a little bit more difficult. I won't go into a lot of detail on how to use this. All I'll say is every single season, I have to gather a list of bleeds because Grid does not track every bleed in the game. It can track disease, magic, poison, so that's easy to use. But as far as bleeds go, Ret Paladins are responsible for clearing very dangerous bleeds with their bop ability. So every season, I find a list of every bleed in every dungeon, and I have to actually add it with the spell ID. Like I said, not an easy thing to do. If somebody doesn't make a list of all the bleeds, I have to manually go in and find them myself. So this isn't something that I particularly recommend. I'm just showing you because people have been asking me what it is and how to use it. So I already have a bleed pulled up here as an example. You have to find the spell ID on Wowhead. So this is a random bleed. It's not for this season, but I'll show you how to add it. The spell ID is up top here. You just copy the spell ID. You paste it, and here it is. So you click on it. I already have this tracked, so it doesn't let me create a new one for it. But once you select it, you just hit create right here, and then this debuff will be in the Grid add-on. So once you have that debuff in your Grid add-on, you put it where you want on the frame. I have all of my bleed debuffs right on the center of the frame, which sometimes you'll see on stream. If somebody gets a bleed, if they get stacks of bleeds and they're about to die, I'll just bop them real quick, and this is how I track that. So all of my bleeds right now are on the icon center. So it's just going to show up right here. On the right hand side, I see their buffs, so if I sack someone, the icon will show up here. And on the left, I have disease and poison dispels. So it does track diseases and poisons for you. If they get poisoned, it's just a quick cleanse. Same thing with disease. The bleeds is the only thing that requires work every season. So I have every single bleed for the season in here. So just in case somebody gets it, does take some setting up, and you do have to customize the bars to look how you want them to. I won't go over everything in detail because it could be a pretty long video if I did. If you want an in-detailed video on using Grid like I do, let me know. I would consider making an in-depth guide on it and helping you guys out with that. But I won't go over that in this video. This is just a basic UI thing. So that is pretty much all there is to my UI as far as the bars and the frames go. With the frames, I will say you guys probably see me do quick dispels and stuff like that. I could make another video on this some other time, but I use the click add-on to just hover over friendly frames and quickly cast what I need to on them. So my Blessing of Sacrifice is mouse wheel down. If somebody's getting targeted by like 3 bolts and they need saved, I'll just go down to their frame, mouse wheel down, give them sack real quick, and then just hop right back into action. So this is just a quick way to actually you know, dispel people, freedom people, heal people, stun your enemies if you're focusing their frame, cleansing people. If the tank is like 1 HP, you can just lay on hands him real quick. Just go control left click his frame, back to max health. So this is something else that I use that helps a lot with the frames that you guys see at the bottom. And that's pretty much it. The only downside really to Domino's is that I cannot export my profile to give to you guys. It would be really nice if I could just export it, give you guys a link to it, and then you could just have this right here. Unfortunately, that you just can't with the add-on. So that's why I'm even making this video, kind of just to explain how you guys can customize it yourselves. And you might not even want exactly what I have right here. What I have right here, it won't take you long to set up at all. If you want to look at the layout again, I have 3 bars stacked on top of each other right here. This one's scaled down. These 2 are normal. I have everything else at 100% scale. Feel free to make it bigger or smaller. Personal preference, however you like it. Have this right here. This right here is just 3 action bars stacked on top of each other. And honestly, you can just do this with 1 action bar. I just didn't. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of customization you can do with this stuff. Extra action button goes wherever you want it. Rolls your cast bar. And then, yeah, you just have all these other action bars that you can place wherever you want. And put whatever you want on them. Keybind them how you want. And, yeah, you just literally click it, drag it, right-click it to open up the options. And scroll through it. Hide the bar, show the bar if you want to. And that's it, guys. So if there's anything I didn't go over in this video that you want to know about the UI, feel free to ask in the comments. Join the Discord. You could ask in the Discord or just DM me or just hop in the Twitch chat sometime. I'm always happy to answer questions that you guys have. And that's the video. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope this helped. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. And I hope you all have a good day. Thanks.